Welcome to online classes students. So today we are going to start our revision chapter 2nd. So in this chapter 2 we are going to discuss what I wear, right? What I wear, which means we are going to discuss about the long story of clothes, right? What I have wear right now, whatever you have wear right now. So think about it, why we need this and how we made this, right? So from the early humans to this 21st century human, why we need clothes and how the story made of clothes. So in this chapter you can see on page number 9 there is some topics which we discuss through this chapter is about the story how cloth was made, about various types of dyes, about designs and patterns. Every stories go through the intro, why, when, right, and then come to the point, then how, then types, right, everything which give us the whole information about the certain thing, a particular thing we want to know about it, right? So our topic is what I wear, which means cloth, fabric. So let's start the story of cloth first. You can see there is a picture of early human which is wearing the animal skin. So the in this chapter a clear instruction is sign is given to you that the early humans wear the animal skin and the leaves. Okay, they don't have so much thoughts about the clothes that time, because that time they are half of human, half of animal. They are generating their cells, so they generate their cells to cover their parts with the leaves of plants, right? And yes, animal skin also. So a long time ago the early humans used to wear animal skins and leaves trees to cover and protect themselves from heat, cold and rain. Yes, these protect us from heat, cold, rain. We all know that if we want a umbrella, that is also made of some fabric of cloth, that's some kind of cloth which is in shape of that particular thing that protect us from the rain and also hot. Okay, and when we wear that kind of cloth, rainy coat, that is also a various kind of cloth, huh? That is protecting from the rain. At the same time, when a human invented that they want a cloth to protect themselves from these things, they made it. The animals. Firstly they started from the leaves, then they come to animal skin, and yes, the story go on, right? Now come to the thing. With the time human beings learn, as I said, when we start from the leaves we come to animal skin, then we come to learn that how to make using cotton, right? How to make some cotton clothes and woolen clothes, which is use of silk and wool, which is given by animals and plants. Yes, these are obtained from the plants and animals. We should learn these things, that the cotton, wool and silk, these all are obtained from the plants and animals, right? Cotton is a plant. Have you seen any if you don't know the cotton plants, you can search on your Google, right? You can search these things on Google, and you can acknowledge about them, that which kind of plant give us wool, which kind of animals give us silk, and yes, wool too. We all know that sheep give us wool, and silk give the silkworm, a small creature of the nature give us the silk, right? So these are obtained from plant and animals. So in this way we learn about the journey of human, how he start from the to cover its body with the leaves, then come to animal skin, and yes, then he learned how to make a cloth of cotton, yes, and the wool and silk, right? So in this way now a point come to in our mind, that how is the cloth made. So cloth it means of using different methods. Okay, now there is a question. Firstly we'll know that how we wear it. Now we come to know that how we made it, right? So cloth is made of different methods. You can come to the page number 10, second paragraph. Spinning and weaving. Spinning is a process through which cotton balls are converted into yarn. You can see the first picture of spinning. Yes, in this way the wools are in the balls, right? They are converted with the help of one kind of needle which is using in the machines, right? Yarns. So have you seen that Gandhiji ka charka, that is using for the spinning of cotton, right? So weaving is the process by two sets of thread are crossed together on a loom. This process converts the thread into fabric, which means all these things are made of, if it is cotton, it's made of small cotton threads, and the small threads become so much a piece of cloth. You can see this one. Is that clear to you? That is something. Yes, you can touch them, and when you press them little bit, then you will come to know these all made of small threads, and then the whole bulk or group of threads become a piece of cloth, right? Okay. Knitting, it is a process making woolen clothes with the help of two needles. Have you seen your dadi and mama is always making that, taking the help of those woolen two needles and make woolen clothes for you, the sweaters, right? It can also done by the using machines. Yes, now these days are very modern. The techniques are here, right? The scientific machines are here, so all the things are become very, modern. So these all can be processed on the machines too. Okay. The process of coloring. Now we learn how we've made it. Now we know that how these clothes having color, right? Now just like you can see me that I have wear a yellow color. How the color came into the cloth, right? Because cotton, have you seen the cotton balls are white? So the all clothes, if we wear of threads, that all will be white. Then how they become yellow, red, purple, and in these various colors. So this is the process of coloring is called dyeing. Dye, right? As the process through which the pieces of cloth are colored, which is soaked in the solution of hot water, which is mixed with the colored dyes, right? The colors were mixed in the hot water, and these kind of white clothes, which is made of some other fabric, they go to the hot water and they soaked in it. The color of piece of cloth can be changed into using a dye, so it's become very colorful. If we color use yellow, it's become yellow. If you use blue, it's blue, right? The fabric called blue jeans was first invented by Jacob W. Davis and Lewis Strauss in the 1800s. So this is the fact which we have to know, that the jeans were kind of the hardest, or we can see the heaviest one fabric in this world is jeans. So which is invented by the Jacob W. Davis. And yes, there is one more fact, that in the early days of when the jeans are invented, these are invented for the have you know the mines, for the mine workers which are working in the mines. So the jeans were made for them. Okay, but yes, it's in the modern time it's become fashion for all us. We all are using the jeans and we all are wearing that jeans. Now come to the point, we are dyeing. So there are two types of dyeing, right? It's natural dye or a chemical dye. Natural dye, which is given by the God gift, right? Which is given by our nature. So these can be obtained from plant and vegetable. These can be obtained by plants and vegetables. Just like for an example given to us, green color from Spanish, and yes, then blue from indigo, and red from the beetroot. So these are the animal plants which give us some natural color to our fabric, right? Now chemical dyes, these are dye made from the chemicals. So these colors made of chemicals, and we use it in the hot water, and yes, our cloth become a colored one. So it's given some creating the patterns also given us to us. So we will learn how the various designs and pattern made on the cloth using different methods. Now we learn why we need clothes. Then we come to know how we made clothes. Then we come to know in which method we learn how to color our clothes by the dyeing method. And yes, now come to point. Now in our mind there is question that how the designs and pattern were made on our clothes. This is very true that we have in our mind. How can a person do this kind of picture on our clothes? How he will do kadhai on it, embroidery on it. So we are very curious about this now. So let's start. Then we come to know how we done this, all the things, right? Now the tie and dye method, by which we can learn the pattern and design in color. Okay, so in dye cloth we can be folded, twisted and tie any pattern of your choice. You can see page number 11, the last picture. You can see this one is the method of tie and dye by folding the cloth, and yes, then go to the pattern, tied in the pattern of your choice. And this method is especially widely in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Remember this is only widely used and practiced in Gujarat and Rajasthan, the dyeing method, tie and dyeing method, right? This one is the first, and yes, the second designing method is block printing. So you can see on your right side, okay, block printing is here. So wooden blocks are created on which various designs. On wood there is some designs were made, right? After this, different colors applied on the raised surface. If the just like a henna, when we use henna on our hand, it's in green, and when we wash our hands, it's become orange. So it's the we applied only the surface. It's a surface, and yes, when we pressed on it, it's created on it. So in this way the wooden blocks are made of designs, and yes, the color were taken on its wooden designs which are curved, and yes, the block was pressed on the cloth and it's become a design. So you can see how the wooden blocks are printed. So this process is now used on paper as well. Now in papers these all are using. So there is quick question, name one more method of creating pattern, that is drafting and draping. Okay, now we have done the first one, tie and dyeing. Second, block printing. We have done these two, how the design made on the cloth. Now the third one, kalamkari. In this method, a special pen and kalam is used to create the design. You can see here kalamkari. Yes, these kind of designs are only created by the pen on the designs which are on clothes. This process used in both in painting and printing. Yes, these all are only used by the printing and painting, these kind of things, right? Now kalamkari, you all know that how we done this, by the painting and printing. Now batik. What is batik? So in this technique, wax dye are used to create different patterns on clothes, right? Wax moom, yes, the candle which is made of wax. So we are using wax for creating different pattern on clothes. You can see batik on the right hand side, just below of kalamkari. Before dyeing the cloth, hot wax puts some part of it, and after the wax cool down, it's removed and beautiful pattern formed in the portion where the dye doesn't sleep in. Okay, so when it's curved on the cloth, that is very hot, so we have to put them in a space so that cool down and make their place on the cloth. So in this way, the batik technique was used on the cloth for the designing the cloth, right? So embroidery. Now come on the point of embroidery. We have done the block printing, kalamkari, which is use of pen, which is use of wood, and yes, one of the wax. Now embroidery, this is one of the most common method of creating design on piece of clothes, right? Have you seen heavy works on lehengas? I know every girl, love that lehengas. Yes, now boys are always like these kind of only wear by a girl. No, boys also wear that kurtas which are embroidered. Okay, this one of the most common method creating designs. It is created by hand and colorful threads. Nowadays machine are used also. Yes, so firstly in early days this is used by the hand, but nowadays it's using by the machines also. So the types of embroidery vary from the state to India, vary which means a variety of into India to state, and there is example of states which is you can see here: chicken curry of Uttar Pradesh, and fulkari of Punjab, and kantha of West Bengal. Okay, so these three examples given to us, and you can see the pictures how the chicken curry made, how fulkari made, and yes, kantha also made, right? So the cloth can be stitched into the different types of garments, for example salwar suits and kurta pajamas. I have given these example of embroidery in your lehengas, but you can see also in your suits. Yes, today the suits are also coming in the market that is full of embroidered, and yes, kurta pajama also embroidered. Sari and dhotis are unstitched garment, which means they don't have to put a one piece of cloth to another piece of cloth. So in this way we can say these all are unstitched clothes. Which one? Sari and dhotis. So today we have done only so many things we have done today, so I can't say we have done a small thing. So for today, that's all for today. Thank you, students.